Is the American dream dead in 2025? Shocking wealth inequality data and a roadmap to reclaim your future.
Welcome to Question Everything, where we challenge the status quo and dive deep into truths no one else dares to. Get ready to question everything you know.
Everyone talks about the American dream, but is it a myth? The data says yes. In 2025, the top 1% of U.S. households own 31.7% of all wealth, $49 trillion, while the bottom 50% hold just 2.6%, or $4.1 trillion, per Federal Reserve data, a gap that's tripled since the 1980s, crushing hopes of equal opportunity. Wealth concentration is staggering. The top 10% controls 70.1% of household wealth, up from 67% in 2019, leaving the middle class with a shrinking 26% share, per Pew Research, as the poor struggle with almost nothing. Racial wealth gaps are a stark barrier. Median Black household wealth is $29,200, Hispanic $40,500, versus $204,100 for white households in 2025, per Urban Institute, a 7-to-1 ratio that's grown 20% since 2010, locking minorities out of the dream. Economic mobility collapse. Upward mobility is nearly gone. Only 48% of children born in the 1990s earn more than their parents, compared to 92% in the 1940s, per Harvard's Raj Chetty, with the U.S. ranking 27th globally in social mobility, behind Denmark's 10%. Parental wealth dictates futures. 55% of income advantages pass to kids, per Stanford's 2025 study, meaning a child of the top 10% is 10 times more likely to attend college than one from the bottom 50%. The U.S. Gini coefficient for income inequality is 46.2 in 2025, worse than Canada's 33 or Germany's 31, per Oxfam, making climbing the economic ladder harder than in most developed nations. Economic conditions 2025. The U.S. economy grows at 1.8% GDP in 2025, per Deloitte, but benefits skew to the wealthy. Unemployment is 4.3%, impacting 7.1 million, with youth unemployment at 9.8%, up from 8% in 2024, per BLS. Inflation at 2.8% in July 2025 drives up costs. Food rose 2.9%, rent 4.5%, and gas 3.1%, adding $2,600 yearly to family budgets, while 62% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, per Lending Club. National debt hits $35.2 trillion, with $1.14 trillion in interest payments, more than education and housing budgets combined, squeezing funds for schools, healthcare, and infrastructure, per Treasury data. Mental health crisis. Mental health is in freefall. 22.4% of adults report mental illness in 2025, with 56% citing financial insecurity as a trigger, per NAMI, and 84% say money worsens mental health, per LifeStance. Stressflation fuels despair. 71% report worse anxiety or depression due to rising costs, with 43% of workers linking job fears to mental strain, per APA's 2025 Stress in America survey. For 43 million with student debt averaging $39,000, financial pressure causes 45% to experience anxiety, with 20% defaulting, damaging credit and job prospects, per Bankrate. Policy-driven stress. Trump's 2025 tariffs, like the 10% universal import levy starting April, raise household costs by $2,400 yearly, with electronics and clothing up 10%, per estimates, hitting 78 million food insecure hardest. Tax cuts for the wealthy save the top 1% $61,090 in 2025, per inequality.org, while middle-class families face higher taxes or cuts to Medicaid and SNAP, stressing 62% living paycheck to paycheck. De-dollarization shrinks dollar reserves to 58%, per IMF 2025, spiking import costs 10%, adding $500 to gas bills and 5 to 10% to groceries for 37 million in poverty, per USDA. Impacts on everyday Americans. The dream's collapse traps families. Only 48% of kids out-earn parents, with 37 million under 25 in poverty, delaying homeownership for 46% of millennials due to $1.6 trillion debt, per Fed. Struggling Americans face dire consequences. 1 in 5 renters are behind, with 653,000 homeless in 2025, worsened by policy cuts to welfare, leaving 78 million food insecure skipping meals, per HUD. Racial inequities block progress. Black mobility is 30% lower than white, with $29,200 median wealth versus $204,100, preventing home or business ownership for 60% of Black families, per Urban Institute. Planning for kids' careers. Start career planning early. Expose kids to tech through free platforms like code.org, where 36% job growth in data science by 2030 offers $103,500 salaries, per BLS, shielding against 40 to 50% AI unemployment by 2040. Encourage adaptability. Coursera's AI certifications boost salaries 20%, per IBM 2025, with 97 million new AI jobs by 2025, per WF, ensuring kids thrive in a shifting economy. Roadmap to rebuild. Here's your expert roadmap. Assess finances. 43 million have $39,000 average debt. Use NerdWallet calculators to target high-interest loans, saving $5,000 by paying $39,000 in 5 years at 6.39%. Build an emergency fund. 40% have under $400 saved. Save $10,000 to $20,000 in high-yield accounts at 5% APY to cushion tariff-driven price hikes or job loss. Start side hustles. 45% of millennials earn $500 to $1,000 monthly via gigs like Uber or freelancing, per surveys. Allocate 70% to debt, 20% to savings, 10% to skills. Support for struggling families. For 37 million in poverty, tap SNAP benefits, covering 40% of groceries for 78 million food insecure, with 2025 expansions aiding 10 million more, per USDA. Access mental health support. 22.4% of adults face issues. Use 988 hotline or community programs, where 65% find relief from financial stress, per APA. Leverage SBA grants. $5 billion for 1.1 million new businesses in 2025, with youth startups up 15%, offering income for those with no savings, per SBA. Comprehensive strategies. Refinance debt. 700-plus credit scores cut rates to 4 to 5%, saving $5,000 on $39,000 loans, per 2025 data. Consolidate to lower 20% default risk, preserving job prospects. Invest smart. Roth IRA at 7% returns grows $500 monthly to $100,000 in 10 years. 59% of workers get 401k matches, adding $3,000 yearly, per Vanguard. Network aggressively. LinkedIn's 80% success rate for career advice. Join groups where 92% of ments avoid poverty through job connections, per Big Brothers Big Sisters. Hopeful path forward. The American dream isn't dead, it's changing. WEF's 97 million new AI jobs by 2025 offer paths for those who adapt, with res-skilled youth filling 85% of roles. With 1.8% GDP growth and 1.1 million new businesses in 2025, opportunities exist. Hustle and planning can rewrite your story. You're not trapped. Save, res-kill, connect. By 2030, you and your kids can build a new dream. Start now and shape a brighter future.
Your opinion is what helps us expand our knowledge. Please share your thoughts on the question we asked and let us know what we should investigate next. Don't forget to subscribe to Question Everything and hit the bell. Stay curious and keep questioning.